we're making a podcast.
Unorthodox and controversial.
Fucking nothing about you that is controversial, man.
Mildly entertaining.
People will listen to that, will they? A podcast. And will people listen to it? Yes. How does everybody else that?
Podcast my hole!
We should put a stop to all this podcast nonsense and leave well enough alone.
Hello, and welcome back to the Mildly Controversial podcast. I don't know what episode this is because we've recorded a few. I think this is the third one we've recorded now.
For this season.
So it might be the third one in this new series. But in fact, it can't be the first or the second because I had a big beard.
Oh, yeah.
And then the sun came out, so I shaved it off. So yeah, just purely for continuity reasons, this is probably the third episode of the new series.
I have a question.
Okay, yes.
Is that your typical thing that you do? It's the sun comes out, it's time to shave the beard?
Well, not every time the sun comes out, because my beard wasn't far short of Baz's length of beard.
I was so curious how long it had been since you'd seen the sun, if that was the case.
It's not that we've never seen the sun in Ireland. It's it's a seasonal thing for me. But I did some acting work in November where I had to clean shave for the first time in 30 years. And I was so emotionally damaged that
I saw the pictures.
I was so emotionally damaged that I had to kind of overcook it and grow the big beard. But I've just I've applied to be an extra on this new film that's being made in the next few weeks where I live. Mm-hmm. And the person who's looking after the extras is the same person who looked after the extras on the one where I did the shave. And I sent her a picture. She said, "What do you look like now?" So I sent her a picture of this. And she said, "Oh, it's good to have the beard back." I said, "Oh, this is what the beard looked like last week." She sent it back. She said, "We would have had a part for you if you still had that beard."
No, you're like, I can grow it. You know, hair comes back.
I was like, she said, "How long to grow that back?" I was like, "Yeah, a couple of months." She was like, She said, "That would have been
I have a solution. You have Baz shave his off and send it to you. We just glue it on there.
I'm seeing Baz this weekend, so Baz better not fall asleep in the bar because I will steal his beard.
Yeah, beard harvesting.
As soon as the acting work was done, I literally sat in a room and sat there and going, trying to squeeze out a new beard as hard as I could. It didn't work. Anyway, regular listeners to our podcast will know exactly who's here, but we should probably introduce you because we haven't yet. We've just started chatting as we do. So, ladies and gentlemen, for those that don't recognise the voice or the face if you're on Spotify, because we've got video on Spotify and everything now, welcome back, Dayna Pereira.
Hey.
Thank you.
Hello.
It's been a while.
I don't mean any offence to any of our other guests, but Dana's my favourite, so fucking deal with it.
Yay!
Right? Yay!
Take that, other guests. Fuck you.
In your face, dickhead.
Well, we didn't want them back anyway, did we?
Well, I've just realised that. I mean, hopefully none of them listen, so they'll be fine. They'll come back.
There's a high probability.
Dayna is somebody who we got on as a guest a long time ago now, and I think Dayna is officially the person who's been on the most often, other than me and
100%.
Baz.
Really?
I'm
This is
almost
4 or
certain
5,
that's
I
the
think.
case.
Yeah.
I think it's 5.
Saturday Night Live, if you do 5 shows, they give you a jacket. Do I get a jacket?
Yes.
Leave it with me.
It'd be a straight jacket. It ties up at the back.
Oh, lads. Are you still coming over to England, Scotland and Ireland?
I sure am, and I will tell you the dates whenever we are done here, but I will be in England, Scotland, and Ireland.
That's very excited.
You're getting a jacket, by the way.
Yeah.
Leave a little bit of space in your luggage to take that back to America with you.
Yeah. We'll take pictures, post them to social media.
Absolutely. I'm already so excited that is going to happen, that the three
Me
of us are going to meet IRL.
If you can make it in July, that would be amazing.
I will be there in July, actually. I'm coming the end of June and into July. I'll be traveling.
a sweet baby Jesus and the orphans. It's like the stars have aligned, and this is going to happen. I'm not sure I'm going to sleep properly until the end of June, but I'll try my best. Anyway, Baz, I'm aware that there's been a lot of talking going on, and we haven't heard much from you today. But so what have you been up to recently, Baz?
I've been. So we should talk about this. This didn't include you, Dana, but myself and Mike have spoken about like getting health checks as you get like, because I'm an old fella, and I'm supposed to be looking after myself. So I've been having health checks, like blood tests, and also just having a sort of a physical MOT. Because I've got a couple of months off physical work. I start again in about another month. But, I've been looking after myself. I was just saying to Mike while you were readjusting your setup that I've started posting on a Facebook account, which I don't know where it came from, but it belongs to me. And I don't know. I opened this thing up one day. It had like 90,000 followers on it, which is like no small number. And it had no bio, had no pictures or anything in it, but it just had all these people sat in there. So I started posting on it a couple of months ago, and then I just kind of forgot it was there because we all have too many social media platforms that we're all playing around with daily.
Yeah,
anyway,
I
I
feel
just
that.
decided I'd start posting on it again the other day because this word popped up in an email saying it's monetized, and of course that just incentivized me to go and start posting on there. So yes,
That'll
so
do
yeah,
it.
I've $130 in 7 days has suddenly appeared in my account. So that's where I'm putting on my edgy now because I couldn't give a shit about all the others because I do that for free.
Because they aren't paying me.
And for the reverse reason, people will notice that I stopped posting on TikTok about 18 months ago, and that's when they found out I lived in Ireland and they don't pay people in Ireland. So you're welcome.
I think they're just.
I think the appeal was waning a little bit, and then when they sent me this message saying, "Yeah, we're not paying you anymore," I was like, "Right, fuck it." I literally threw my toys in the air and walked out of the room.
I think it just proves that the people that do the Mildly Controversial podcast aren't social media whores.
No.
Yes.
Just whores.
Yeah.
The two of us, by
Whores
the way.
on and off
Yes.
of social media.
I wasn't making any money.
Whores on tour in July. That's what it is. That's your jacket.
There's
Oh,
going to be
God.
jackets.
We'll all have a whores on tour
I can
jacket.
see that being in a bin at an airport somewhere.
I need to write that down. I need to write that down so I don't forget.
Yeah. Another thing that happens with age.
Yes.
That's a whole lot. Anyway, Baz, talking about you were saying you were having health tests. I want to probe.
Yeah.
Probably the wrong use of words.
I mean, they do probe you during a health test, I hear.
The one I had was just purely for blood work and stuff like that because I've never really had it done. And Mike was saying that he'd had a kind of you'd had a health test a few months ago now, hadn't you?
I was finger buggered by a doctor, Baz. That's what
I
you
was
were
trying to skirt around that. So yes,
A doctor wore me like a fucking hand puppet.
yeah, I didn't go down that route. I just went for blood work, which is like will probably tell me the same thing without the degradation.
You obviously didn't ask as
Yes.
nicely as I did, Baz.
He offered, but I said no, I'm all right, thanks. So that's it. Yes.
So have you had the test back? Are you okay?
The results haven't come back yet, but I mean, even if it comes back positive, I'm still not okay. Let's be clear.
Well, listen, everybody. I mean, let's hope we don't have to end this episode with a picture of Baz that slowly fades to black and white with some dates at the
In loving
bottom.
memory of.
Yeah, I mean, let's hope not.
And mate,
Fingers
obviously,
crossed.
when you post that shit, it'll go down well, right? So I'm willing to die for the podcast. There you go.
I'm gonna get the keys to your new Facebook page as well and put it on there and monetize it and spend $130 in the pub and drink to your memory.
No,
That's what
I feel gratified by that. Then and my legacy lives on. God, I'm not even dead, and I'm already talking like I'm dead.
I mean, if you are dead by the time this goes out as well, this is like you speaking from beyond the grave, which is brilliant. That's got to be good for. That's got to be good for interaction and monetization.
Oh yeah. Well, in that case, the last thing I
sure.
want to say is
thanks, Baz.
just I want everybody, as you know, for my dying wishes, to subscribe to the podcast.
Oh, I thought you were going to say get fingered by a doctor. But no, you went the subscription route.
Mike's already had that done.
So basically, what you're saying, Baz, if people don't subscribe to our podcast, then they're insulting the man's dying wishes.
This got very dark very quickly. Didn't it?
Subscribe, you bastards. Yes.
He will haunt your asses.
Literally your asses as well.
Everywhere else on you is fine, but your ass, haunted.
Oh, this has started well. I'm pleased about this.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Yeah. I've just got this great mental image of people's farts going. This is Baz popping out of someone's ass like a genie.
Doing transition videos.
Yeah, maybe not.
Wow. Okay.
Anyway, it's nice to see you, Dana. Goodbye.
So, Dana, there's something we need to address.
Yes.
That we haven't spoken about yet.
Okay.
We were talking about fingers earlier, which is a segue that didn't need to go in that direction, but we'll use it anyway. You recently had an incident where, oh my God! So
I
you
sure did.
have lost a significant portion of your pinky.
I sure have. Yeah, the tip of my pinky is no longer there. It is not visible. It's not attached. In fact, my husband has pictures of my pinky with a full nail, like one of these nails, that he had like picked up off of the ground.
Jesus Christ! And I mean, you hear all the time about stuff like, oh, people put it in ice, and was that attempted and rejected?
Yeah.
Or?
Yeah, well, so we actually, I think we put it in a paper towel, like a wet paper towel or something like that. And then we went down to the hospital and they were like, it's not even worth it. Like, it's just don't even bother.
How dare you?
My husband
Beautiful hands.
still had hope after the hospital didn't reattach my pinky. He put that motherfucker in the refrigerator.
He frozen it.
Because we had another doctor's appointment in 3 days. And he was like, just in case.
Surely freezer would have been a better option, wouldn't it?
Any which way. I was like, just let it go. The finger is gone. Just say your goodbyes. Give it a kiss. Bury it in the yard. Whatever you need to do. But it's just, you need to let go now.
I love that. Have we got any yogurts left? Yeah, I think there's one behind my dismembered finger.
Right behind the finger.
Yes. So do you want to explain to, Baz and I, and you, we know how this happened. Do you want to explain to our dear listeners how this happened?
Yes, dear listeners, R.I.P. fingertip, this is what happened. So I have a dog who is kind of reactive to other dogs, and he every now and again will attack one of the other dogs. So we've had him in and out of training over the last couple of years. And the last time he attacked a dog, he like drew blood on their nose and stuff like that. So we put him back in training, and that was in September. Haven't had an incident since, and I got a little cocky, I think, because I thought that everything was just going to be fine. I really actually set him up for failure because my in-laws were coming over, and they asked if they could bring their dog. And I was like, yeah, it was an old foster of mine. And I was like, absolutely, I miss him. I love him. Bring him over. And so we had people over. We had food out, which is another one of his triggers. We had another male dog in the house, which is another one of his triggers. And he went to attack one of my other dogs. And like I've done, I don't know, 12 times in the past, I kind of like put myself in between the two of them. But he was already mid-chomp whenever I got my hand in there. And he just right down on my hand. And I pulled my hand out of his mouth because it was very quick. I didn't even realize that my finger was gone until I held my hand up. And all of a sudden, there was just blood streaming down my hand. And I was like, I lost my fingertip. And I walk calmly over to the sink, put my hand under some water, and I look at everybody and I said, guys, my fingertip is gone. And everybody was like, what? And my husband was like, what do we do? He finds my fingertip on the floor, and his brother is like, yeah, you got to take her to the ER.
Yeah.
That's what you
After
do.
dinner, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, finish your pizza first, but. And so off to the ER we went, and I walked in, and the whole ride to the ER, I was like, do I tell them it was my dog? Are they going to like come and take my dog away? Are they going to like force, euthanasia? Or I don't know what happens whenever you tell people that your dog bit your finger off.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, oh, do we tell the truth? And then eventually I decided, you know what? He wasn't attacking me. He was attacking another dog. So I told them the truth. I said, well, I got in the middle of a dog fight, and they were like, oh, girl, you and so many others. Like, this happens all the time. So I'm in, I don't know about good company, but I'm in company. Lots of people have had their fingers taken off by their
I thought
dog.
for a minute you were going to make up a story that's something else other than a dog had like taken the end of your finger off, and I thought, what would that story be? Because obviously that leaves your husband.
I am open to suggestions.
So in California, there's sharks there, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yes.
Easy.
Shark attack. What was one of them was I got in, or what is the knife competitions?
Okay.
But I lost second place. You would be amazed. Like, fingers are so easy to lose. Did you guys know how easy it is to lose a
They
finger?
break easily. I
do now.
I broke my pinky about 25, 30 years ago, and they're incredibly weak considering they're quite useful and you use them all the time. But yeah, mine sort of bent at a 90-degree angle at the top, and then the doctor in the emergency room, he said, "Oh look, I can straighten it," and he didn't do it enough. And I was like, "Oh no, you can't leave it like," because it was still at a weird angle. And he said, "It's going to hurt." And I said, "Yeah, but it's going to be really awkward if it's turned in at the angle you've left it at." So you have to sort of like pop it and redo it again. But it's still not right. So I'm in your club, but not quite with the same kind of missing parts.
You still got one, Baz.
Yeah.
I'm trying to sound brave.
It's a significant difference, I think. I do like the. I saw your post about, and you kind of went through it there. It was like everything you said about how you lost your finger then was not about. It was all about you and your fault, and not the dogs, which I thought was beautiful. Because I saw your post about it, and you were explaining this and all that kind of stuff. Because I need to tell you this, because I was in the golf club on Monday, St Patrick's Day, celebrating St Patrick's Day in Ireland, with a friend of mine, and I told the story about your dog taking your finger. And I said, she put this beautiful post up saying, I put him in that position, and people are asking me, did I have him put down, or did I get rid of him, and all that kind of stuff. And of course not. It was all on me, and all that kind of. And I wrote down my mate's comment.
Oh God, I can't wait.
He said, "If a dog bit my finger off, I would kick the fucker off a cliff."
And I beg of you, sir, please do not get a dog.
So yeah, Dave's reaction to a dog biting his finger off is very different to yours.
Yes, I guess that's what makes the world go round. It takes all kinds, right?
It does, yeah. And thankfully, Dave doesn't have a dog. So.
Oh, good. Oh, I feel so much better now.
We've got lots of cliffs nearby, but he doesn't drive, so it would be quite an effort for him to get there to kick one off. So. So yeah. No, I thought it was I thought it was lovely, and also I need to say that I sent what I think was a beautiful and heartfelt message of support to you.
Go on.
Trying to get you to look on the bright side and let you know that your manicures will only cost 90% of what they used to. But thankfully, knowing Dayna the way we do, I knew she would take that as a joke, and she didn't immediately delete and block me for being horrible.
No. I have luckily been able to keep my sense of humor through all of this, because honestly, at the end of the day, it's a fingertip. It's not really affecting my life all that much. Like the healing part of it isn't super fun. But, it is just a fingertip. And it was so funny. My nail girl, whenever I posted that video, messaged me and she was like, oh my gosh, do we need to cancel your nail appointments? And I was like, girl, I got 9 left. Like, I'm still going to need those done.
You need to make the other 9 look fucking brilliant so nobody notices the one that's missing.
Exactly. You never know how many times this dog's going to bite a fingertip off, though. So
Well, hopefully not too many.
I do have him in a much better situation now. Like, I don't have him with the other dogs, so he can't attack because he's not with them. We kind of do like this rotation thing with him right now while he's doing some more training. Another thing that I have to do is if he is with the other dogs, I have to muzzle him so that if he were to attack one of the other dogs while he was roaming around with them, he couldn't do any damage. And so he has this like plastic muzzle thing on so that he can still drink water and stuff like that. But he is like, every time I put that on him, he's like, I hate you. Like, I should have taken the whole finger.
It's like, as soon as this comes off, I'm having another one.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
He's had the taste of blood now.
What type of dog was it? Is it? Sorry, not was, because you didn't kick it off a cliff. It's
Yes,
like,
no.
Present tense. What type of dog is it?
He is, this is so embarrassing. I really wish that I could say it was like a German Shepherd or a Pit Bull or something that was like, more masculine. It's a Bernie Doodle. He's a doodle mix.
No,
But they're quite big, aren't they?
He's like 45 pounds-ish.
I don't know what this is. What?
Baz, you're going to have to help me here. What's that? That's quite a lot.
45
isn't it?
pounds is 20 kilos.
That's 3.5 stone.
Yeah.
That's a heavy dog.
He's like
But is a Bernie Doodle,
medium
is it a
size.
Bernese? Is it a Bernese and a poodle?
It is, yes.
Yeah, God, Bernese, beautiful, beautiful dogs, by the way.
They really
They
are.
are my favourite
Sharp
dogs.
teeth,
actually.
though.
Don't tell my 2 cockapoos that I don't love them as much as if they were
Oh, yeah,
Bernie
whenever you're
Doodles.
on next time, like, they hear this podcast and decide to bite one of Mike's fingers off.
Yeah.
Like, where haven't you fucker?
Like, my dogs overheard me.
They
dissing
were
them.
like, man, I didn't even know that was an option.
They've not only heard me slagging them off, they've also heard me giving them instructions on how to get
Mike,
retribution.
Mike, which one?
This is
Which
not
one
gonna
would it
go
be
well.
that bit your finger off out of your 2? Would it be Larry?
And it would probably be Melvin. Larry is hates other dogs, but is the softest dog in the world with humans. Melvin's the flip of that. Melvin's a grumpy little bastard to strange
So,
humans.
for context, Dana, how many dogs do you have in total?
Oh, gosh. Okay,
Depends
so
on the day of the week.
it really does depend on the day of the week. That's not even a lie.
You can only count up to 9 now, can't you?
And I have more dogs in my house, so I have to use my
God.
feet now. So in total, at this very moment in time, I have 13 dogs under my roof. Now, 5 of those are puppies that are 8 weeks old, so they're just little babies.
They're not going to take a finger.
They're too little to take a fingertip. So, and then I have 2 mamas in the house right now too. And then I have my dogs that I've had forever. I have 6 of my own dogs, 3 of which are very, very little. They're, Chihuahuas and Yorkies and they're tiny. But yeah, I have 13 dogs in my house at this moment in time. And a month ago, I had 16 dogs in my house.
And this is because you would explain to people, you don't just go like gathering them like fucking Cruella de Vil. Do you know what I mean?
I'm like
You-
a crazy cat woman.
Yeah.
No,
You're like a crazy cat woman, but with dogs.
But
Now,
with
you
dogs.
foster dogs, don't you?
I do, yeah. So I work with an organization called Mutt Scouts, and I foster a lot for them. A lot of times I'll end up like a kind of like the safe place for them to land on the in between before they either, go off to another foster, or if they're staying with me, like I like the little ones. So I keep the little ones usually until, they're adopted. But yeah, just a month ago I had, 9 dogs that I was fostering that I got either adopted or into fosters. And then I told my husband I was going to take a break. I was like, we are going to be traveling and stuff. I can't be having all of these dogs. And then one of the girls at the rescue was like, look at this mama and puppies. And I was like, all right, fine, I'll take them.
No, No, we just said, look, no need give them to me now.
Yeah. I actually text my husband and I was like, I just want to give you a reminder that you love me and that you think I have a kind heart. Also, a mama and her 5 babies are coming to the house. Okay, I love you. Bye.
I bet he didn't even bat an eyelid.
His response was, why?
But you said...
Yeah. But also, he's the guy that the other day I wasn't feeling well, and he got up out of bed, and he went down, and he changed the pads, and he took the dogs for a walk, and he did. So he complains, but he's actually very active in helping me with the fostering. Oh. Yes. Well, he does like dogs, but he gets attached. So whenever I'm fostering, he doesn't actually like to hang out with the foster dogs that much because he will be very sad when they go. And so he's like, he's a big softie. And so he's like, I let you deal with most of it because he gets so sad whenever they go.
I would be exactly the same. I couldn't foster. I think what you do with fostering is just, Jesus, Dayna, you just added another reason why we love you.
Well, thank you.
No, honestly, fostering dogs I think is such an amazing thing for you to do because I would be like your husband. I couldn't do it. Not because I don't care for dogs, and not because I wouldn't be patient and offer my home to them as a as a refuge. None of that. It would just be purely selfishly because I know you need help, but I don't want to cry when you leave.
Yeah, it's hard. And my husband has gotten emotional over a few of the dogs that have come into our house. There was one that he was like, can you take a picture of me with, his name was Pluck. He was the cutest little thing. And he was like, can you just take a picture of me and Pluck? He was so
I'm
cute.
surprised he didn't just say, look, we've got 6. Moving to 7, that's like a rounding error in counting the dogs, isn't it? So, come on.
Well, so I have foster failed 2 dogs. We only had 4 dogs before. And since I've been fostering over the last 3 years, I have now foster failed on 2 dogs. And even though I've had, 30 of them come through my house, that's pretty good odds, I think, that I've only foster failed on 2.
What constitutes a fail?
Foster failing is whenever you can't let them go and you end up keeping them. So you intend on fostering, and then you're like, I'm just kidding. This one's staying. It's not going anywhere.
It's my dog now.
And one of those dogs, I drove across the country in an RV to my mother's house because she was going to foster them. And I left. I was crying so hard. I was like hyperventilating. I look at the seat next to me, my husband is crying. In the back seat, my kids are crying. And I'm like, what are we doing? Why are we giving this dog up? So I went back and got him and drove across the country again.
Wow. It just turned out to be a big doggy road trip.
It really did. It was very fun. It also helps to have a pit bull with you when you're traveling alone across the country.
There you go. So is that one of the 6 now?
He is, yes. His name is Lars, and I am obsessed with him.
And it's a pit bull. So what are the 6 that you've got that are yours?
So I have 2 Bernie Doodles that I will admit I bought from a breeder. And not
and one
great
of them's
whenever
broken. So there's your lesson, folks.
One of them is broken. But I actually like to share that information because I think that it was a learning thing for me that I didn't know what I was really doing beforehand. And I'm not saying anything too awful about breeders or buying from breeders, but the situation in the shelters here, at least in California and across the United States, is awful. And whenever I started fostering and seeing that, I was like, oh, no, I'll never buy from a breeder again. I will go to the shelters because you can get Bernie Doodles at the shelter. You can get puppies at the shelter. I know because I get them all the time now, just in a different capacity. But I have the 2 Bernie Doodles. Then I have a pit bull mix, which is Lars. Then I have 2 Yorkie mixes and a Chihuahua mix.
Do they all get on? You've gone from like it's a bit like if you lined them up. It'd be like that picture, the evolution of man. If you like, do you know what I mean? From you've got the little chihuahua up to a Bernie doodle.
Doll where you put one inside the other. That's where my brain went. Anyway.
The Russian dolls. So this will not shock you at all to learn that Leo, the one that bit my finger off, he's a hunting kind of dog. He's killed squirrels. He's killed birds. He's killed lizards, rats, you name it. Fingers. He's just the, assassin in my house. And I am afraid to let him near the small dogs because they are the size of a squirrel, and he's already taken one of those out. So I have two separate areas in my house. One where the big dogs run around in. It's like kind of gated off. And then I have the back door that goes into the big yard out back. And so the big dogs all stay on that side and the little dogs are on the other side. And they have an area that goes into the middle of my house. I have like a courtyard that's open air. And that's where they go. So luckily...
That's the bait room.
Yes.
So when one of the little ones pisses you off, like, throw it to the bird doodle, that'll do. It don't matter, we'll have another one in tomorrow. It's fine. Yeah. So yeah, you don't need to. What was the quote? Like, kick it off a cliff or whatever Dave said.
No. Yeah, just feed them to Leo.
One of those odd things that the people listening to this this podcast that aren't dog lovers, weirdos as we call them, and they'll be like, well,
100%.
why don't you? Surely why would you keep a dog that's done that? And I think the thing is, if you're a dog lover, you literally understand that they come from wild animals many years ago. We know we've domesticated them, but they've got teeth at one end which are still sharp after thousands of years of like domesticity, and I think what's happened to you is just poor luck, isn't it? It's literally just bad luck. It's not like as you said, dogs fight with other dogs all the time, don't they? Because that's what they do. But have you learnt a lesson here? Like the next time your dogs are fighting, you're going to go in with like drop an elbow on it first before you dive in.
Body slam.
You would be amazed at some of the things that people say. Like whenever I tell the story of what happened and I'm like, oh, and I just kind of got in the middle of it. People are like, oh my God, why did you do that? And I was like, I don't know. Shit was just going too well for me. I thought that I could really, be taken down a notch. Like
I had too many fucking fingers, didn't I?
Too many fucking fingers on my hand right now. It's feeling a little greedy in the fingertip department, okay?
Yes. I mean, clearly, in the spur of the moment, you were just like, I need to split these up, so I'll get in between them.
It was a reaction.
They always say, don't get in between them. And there's even people who say you should pop a digit up inside the dog. Have you heard that one? That is how you stop a dog fight, apparently. I'm aware.
I mean, I've heard of lifting their legs off the ground. I've never, ever thought about...
I mean, it's not something I've made up. Do you know? I'm aware that it's not the first time I've mentioned putting a finger up an arse in this episode. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely. Well, I think I might need to fact check it now. I think I might just be like, maybe that's what the doctor thought with me. He thought I was getting aggressive with him. I need to distract this man. That is actually... I think that is an actual thing that was advice that you were supposed to take, but it's since been debunked. Like a lot of things that are on these shows where you see, people training dogs saying, oh, they're pack animals. You've got to be like, the alpha, and you've got to be the leader of the pack. It's like, absolutely fucking bollocks, mate. Do you know what I mean? Treat your dog with respect. Treat your dog with respect and reward him for good behaviour. That's how you look after a dog.
Being an alpha means you have to finger one of the dogs if it's getting aggressive.
Andrew Tate doesn't mention that, does he?
Yes. Next time you're getting fisted.
You never hear Andrew Tate mentioning that when he's telling you how to be an alpha male, do you? That's in the small print.
And that's why I'm a beta.
Can I just point out he means
yes,
BETA?
yes. Not a beater.
Yeah, not like wife beater. That's a very different thing. Anyway,
Yeah, we're not usually like this. This has got very feral, isn't it?
and I blame Dayna.
You know what? I accept the blame.
Well, she's
give
the
him
one
my
that made the
fucking
dog go nuts. She's made us do it as well now. She's admitted liability for the first part. Now she's going to have to admit liability for the second part.
Hey, I'm here for you. I will be
I
your
know we
scapegoat.
didn't get you on just to talk about dogs, but I think it's one of those things. It's one of the subjects that, and I don't know what the stats are on how many dog owners there are across the world, but there are lots of dog owners. So I think a lot of people
Sure.
with yes,
Lots,
I think a lot.
Wikipedia. How many dogs are lots?
It says lots.
Nice
doesn't it? No, but I think it's one of those things. A lot of people would empathise with your situation, and there's probably quite a lot of people that have been involved in the similar situations that have been sort of injured in similar ways, because you love dogs, don't you?
I've gotten so many people responding to my videos that I've put on TikTok or Instagram, telling me about their experience with having either like getting bit by one of their dogs for whatever reason, or fingertips being chomped off by other people as well. Like, there was one that had a sick dog, and they were trying to give their dog medication, and he just like chomped down to try and not take the medication, took off a fingertip. Like, it happens all the time. It's crazy.
I mean, and I know it's a split second thing. I probably would have gone in feet first if I was trying to split up two dogs and fighting, if I'm honest.
Just wear shoes.
I would have gone in with a shoed foot.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, that is like not post-rationalizing, but yeah, that is me.
I wish I would have thought of that, but no, I led with fingers.
That's the title of this episode, by the way. Dayna Pereira, I led with fingers.
Yeah.
We had two dogs, and one of those is prone to attacking the other, and I dived in all the time with my hands, just because like.
Yeah.
I think it's different if it was your dog and a stranger dog. I'd be more inclined to wade in with a foot on the stranger's dog. But when they're both your own, you're a little bit like, I don't want to hurt either of them. And then if you come up like that, you're like, oh, okay, someone's come out worse than this. But it's I'd probably be the same way with my own dogs, and a bit different with someone else's dog. That sounds cruel, but I think you know your own dogs.
No, it doesn't. It's because you don't know other people's dogs. You do know your dog, and your instinct is to protect your dog. So, yeah, when it's both of your dogs and you're like, well, shit, I need to protect one, and I need to, make sure that the other one just gets off and doesn't hurt him. And, so, yeah, it's all reaction, and there's no time to think about it because he's attacking your dog, So
I think if it was my dog, I'd go in with 1 foot. If it was somebody else's dog, I'd go in with 2, like Roy Keane,
sideways,
like 3 feet. Oh, like Roy Keane. I'll have to come up with another reference for the Americans.
Roy Keane,
the guy off Street Fighter. What was he called? Chun-Li. He was the girl, wasn't it? It was like. Anyway, yeah, like that, just like that, exactly like that.
I love the fact that Dayna, Mike's used as an Irish soccer player in your language as an example of what he would do.
I realised as soon as I'd said it, it was going to go over the head of 40% of our audience.
All right, I'm sitting here laughing, but I'm laughing at the idea that he thinks he would go in sideways like that. Like, we know what would really happen in real life.
I'd fly in dramatically. Like,
I think it says a lot about you as well, is that
Probably.
you don't seem to be sort of phased by your dogs, even at this stage, after having I think the term life-changing incident, because it is really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Life-changing
Yes, there
injury,
you
they
go.
call it, don't they?
It definitely was. And it's like, I still have a little PTSD about it. Like, sometimes when I'm trying to go to sleep, I just like relive the incident, and I have to be like get myself out of thinking about, because I actually saw my fingertip fly across the room, and I didn't realize that that's what it was at the time. Or maybe it's just my brain looking back on the incident and thinking that that's what happened, because your memory can play tricks on you too.
Yeah.
But I'm like, fuck, man, it was traumatic. It's
it.
still traumatic.
Of your body that's left
That's not something you forget anytime soon, is it? It's like, wait a minute, that should still be attached to me.
Yes.
Where the hell is
yeah.
that going?
I was
Yeah,
gonna say, on
and-
the upside, you'd be able to do that trick where you put the stump up your nose and it looks like it's all the way up now. So
Yeah.
Or that thing, when you do with your thumb like that. Yeah. You can do that with your actual finger. I hope it's still in the fridge. Then you can entertain kids with it.
Oh my God. I made him throw that thing out. Like, I was like, dude, what are you holding on to? Please get rid of that. He did take pictures of it though. So
well, look, I've got a little story. My sister lost the tips of one of her fingers in a. I'm trying to think what it is. It's a machine which was for turning potatoes into fries. But it obviously, well,
Chips.
yeah. Once again, I'm pandering to a
Stop translating for the guest
sorry,
bars.
to chips. And
Stop it. Stop accommodating our guest, for fuck's sake. Stop
so
being
anyway,
nice.
the very next Christmas, we're all at our house opening. You have crackers in America, don't you? This sounds really shit, but yeah. So anyway, she gets a fake finger that comes out of the crack. On the very first Christmas after you losing a finger.
It's Christmas cracker, we need to explain, not crackers with cheese.
Christmas cracker. She's got a fingertip fake finger that came out of this cracker. And of course I mean...
who gave it
obviously
to her?
it was random. So obviously we just...
Oh,
so we all had
it was
Christmas
okay.
crackers.
My brother just sent me a video of those fake
go.
fingertips, and he was like, I got you.
If you get a magician's one, it lights up.
Ooh.
You know what a magician and that'll go like this, and it looks like he's passing a little orb of light from finger to.
Well, maybe I'll get one that vibrates and show my husband who's the alpha.
Can you get one with a laser sticking out the end of
I
it?
did not see that coming. I'm not going to lie. I did not see that coming at all. But you've clearly put a lot of thought into it, Dayna.
I mean, no, I just get weird thoughts that enter my head, and sometimes you're on a podcast and they come out of your mouth.
Yeah, well, so talking about the actual finger, have you? I mean, you said you were going to the doctors and stuff. I presume you have it, the dressing replaced. So, have you had a chance to have a look at what's left?
Oh, yeah. So I change all of my own bandages now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so every day I take it off and I get in the shower and, I'm like, well, it is what it is. But whenever I originally went to the hand surgeon, they were trying to determine whether or not they needed to do surgery. And basically what it was let it heal on its own, and it will take 8 weeks to do so. But there's a little bit of nail bed left. So there's a possibility that I could grow a weird looking nail or do surgery where they have to shave the bone down a little bit and they pull the skin up and over it. And the healing time is only a couple of weeks versus a couple of months. But there's no chance to have a nail.
I would suggest that the girl who did your manicure was going, now get the bone shaved down, I'll get you done quicker.
Yeah. See, I really, really I was ready to just do the surgery and just call it a day. I'm like 2 weeks of healing versus 2 months of healing. Yeah, that sounds great. I don't want to deal with it. It's going to be a weird looking finger anyways. My husband really wanted me to suffer, I guess, and then grow a nail.
I think he's just sat there thinking, I wonder what this nail's going to look like.
Oh, yeah, pure curiosity.
Yeah.
And so I did that. We're doing that. I'm still not completely fully healed. We still have, probably a month left or so. And then I won't even know if I grow a nail for, 3 months to 6 months.
I tell you what, if you want to see the big reveal, by the way, and you don't currently follow Dayna on social media, it's Dayna Pereira?
Yes.
It's Dayna Pereira. So Dayna Pereira. Not even going to try and spell it.
Pereira.
There you go. I mean, I can if I was writing it down, but I'd have to look up to the... Anyway,
Yeah.
So, all good, yes. So it's Dayna Pereira if you want regular Pinky updates.
There will be updates. That's the way it goes.
We happy to move the conversation on from your missing digit?
Sure, yeah. I mean, we've done like a solid hour almost on my finger. That's impressive.
I think we might need to go to 2 episodes just on Dayna's finger.
Dayna, for such a long time, like we first met via podcast. Like we had her and a long time ago with her partner at the time, her podcast partner. A long time ago, that's how we met, wasn't it? And you got a history of podcasts.
Yeah.
So you,
We've forgotten about
I don't
her
remember her name, to be honest.
Yeah, me too.
She was Canadian anyway, so it didn't matter.
Yeah, she was
Yeah.
from the 51st state, wasn't she?
Oh God, yeah, soon to be owned by America. Are you still actively podcasting? Because I know that you did something with your sister.
I was. Yeah, you know what? I've taken a break from podcasting, and I'll tell you why. My mental health was fucking declining. I was like, being on social media, I couldn't take it anymore. I took months off of social media for a while, and then I was doing the Dirty Little Secrets Club, and I was like, my partner on there, Brimstone, I was like, I need a break. And he was like, great, take a break. And he's been so kind about that. He keeps saying, when are we getting back to it? And I was like, I'm not sure when this is going to be all better, but at some point, maybe. But right now, I just really needed to slow down. I lost my stepfather last year. It was a really shit year for me, and things were just hard, and I was just feeling gross. And I was like, no, you know what? If I disappeared from podcasting, would anybody know? And I'm gotta tell you, not a lot of people fucking realize, like, they don't care. They find another person to, swoop right in there and fill the time. So I'm like, well, I guess I'm going to focus on me for a little bit.
I don't think it's that people don't care. I think it's one of those things. It's like podcasts come in. You choose to have podcasts, and if they don't arrive on your where you get podcasts, you listen to either something else or you don't listen to that podcast.
Yeah, you fill the time with something else.
You nearly said doorstep like some kid rides past on a bike and throws the podcast to your front door. It arrives on your doorstep.
I realised where I was going with that as well. It's not like that at all,
That's
is it?
not a thing here, by the way. That's not a thing here. That's an American thing. That's not a thing here. We use letterboxes.
Mm-hmm.
You actually get stuff delivered into your house.
Oh, and we just have people on bicycles throw them at you.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and are you?
I've seen it. Yes. I've played the game as a kid.
You did. Are you planning on coming back with something? Because, like, I know that you're always on the cusp of doing some kind of project, aren't you?
I really am. I don't know. I want to say yes, but I'm not sure. Every time, here's the thing. My brain is going 100 miles per hour all the time. I have ideas and things that I want to do all the time. And then I start to do them. I almost came back to podcasting a couple of months ago because I have friends that were on reality TV and I wanted to do interviews with them. And then I was like, oh, I can interview this person. And then I can interview. I had a list of people that I was ready to interview. The day that I was going to interview somebody, and it was a cast member from Love is Blind. Do you guys get that Love is Blind show?
I don't watch it, but I know it's massive, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm aware of its work.
So it was one of those cast members, and I woke up that day, and I was like, I can't fucking do it. Like, I just am not in the mental headspace for it. And so I text him, and he was like, actually, there's a huge storm where I am right now, so I can't even drive to get my laptop where it was. And I was like, that's a sign. I'm going to take a break.
Even God doesn't want this to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, and so I have been, and I miss it a lot, especially sitting here bullshitting with you guys. I'm like, God, I'm fucking good at this.
Yeah.
But,
She is. That's not a mildly
No, not
controversial
at all.
opinion, by the way. That's
thank
fact.
you. But I'm also like, okay, take the break when you need the break. And I'm not sure how long I need a break for. I guess we'll find out.
Well, I mean, you've got plenty of dogs to look after in
Well-
the meantime, haven't you? It's not like you're not busy.
I have filled all of the space with dogs. That's for sure.
Listen, Dayna, if you want to be broken in gently back into podcasting, you are. I'm not just saying this. You are literally welcome anytime you want. We will have
Thank you.
as a regular on this podcast every 2, 3, 4 weeks, whatever you want.
And
we will...
I don't have to edit or
Days.
anything. I mean, you are speaking my language.
That's why I'm on here, Dayna.
Yes, exactly. There's one of the three of us does all the heavy lifting on this podcast.
I'm here to laugh.
But no,
See, that I could probably be talked into.
there you go. There you go. No, honestly, every time you're on, me and Baz have such a good time, and we get loads of really good feedback. Everybody loves you when you're on the episode. So
Till the summertime when we are in
Oh, God, this is
person.
ridiculous.
absolutely, absolutely. No, honestly, I would love to have you on even more than you are now as the most attended guest or whatever the English.
I'm sure I could
phrase
come
would
up with
be.
some controversial, mildly controversial opinions.
Well, I mean, we haven't got time for them now, so you're going to have to come back because we spoke so. And this is the beautiful thing about when we get you on. It's effortless.
It flows.
It's just three of us just having a conversation that I'm pretty sure. I was going to say hopefully is entertaining. I'm
don't
pretty
care,
sure
I've
it is
enjoyed
fucking
it.
entertaining. I know.
I'm pretty entertained.
Yeah, no, do you know what? I mean, this is how Baz and I approach podcasting. If we have a good time, we don't care if people like it.
Yeah, I am with you on that. That's the way you should approach it too.
I mean, people do. We get a lot of feedback that people do enjoy it, but even if people hated it, but me and Baz really liked it, we would either still do it and not post it, or still do it and post it and
It'd
not
be weird
care
if you didn't
people
post it, though.
liked
We're just going to get you on to interview you about your life, and then just go, we're just going to keep it.
Just gonna keep it.
As
We're
you
just
made
gonna
that
watch
seem
it back.
so creepy.
Okay, I have to ask you guys a question.
Go on.
Have you ever interviewed somebody and had it be so bad that you were like, fuck no, not doing it, not posting it, can't put this material up?
Not the material.
I'll answer honestly and then edit this out.
Yeah.
Yes.
I had a guy come on to one of my shows. This was a few years ago, and I thought that he was going to be like a good guest. He had written a book, and it was on like parenting and his takes on some things, and I was interviewing him. I start digging into this guy. He doesn't even have children. He had no kids, and he wrote a parenting book.
I mean,
And I was like, I am not putting this shit out. And his opinions, I was like, who the fuck? Like, seriously, during the interview, I was like, this guy should not have kids because he is a terrible parent. And then I looked into him. He didn't have kids.
And you're like, thank God for that.
I ended the interview after like 15 minutes. I was like, thank you so much for coming on the show. This will never see the light of day.
I've got to be honest. I mean, I like when we do a podcast with other people that do podcasts because like I think all our brains are working at the same time. Thinking, right, let's think of a new angle to craft a conversation here. And then like we had a few minutes ago, we all went and we all stopped at the same time. Went, right, where are we all going? But I think he works here because obviously, the king of editing's like just goes, all right, well, there's a nice little break there. That'll give me like a chance to go and have a cup of coffee while I work out what's going in next.
That's it. Well, everyone watching and listening will be going,
Yeah,
what bit
exactly.
where everyone stopped talking?
Seamless.
Exactly, because the wonderful editing skills of...
The magical world of editing.
do you know what? I absolutely hate editing, but I'm quite good at it. So
Yeah.
it's,
Well, I've
there
listened
we
to,
go.
I've listened
That's
to our
where
own
we are
podcast
with
more than I've listened to other podcasts, and it's really good. I'm just saying.
it is. So
Got to keep those numbers up.
So if you're new to the podcast, and because this is early on in a new series, then yes, what better endorsement than somebody who's on our podcast every week saying it's quite good. I mean, I might put that quite. Can I put like 2 out of 5 stars or something?
There you go.
It's like quite good.
Well, you see movie posters and it's got the quote on there.
2 stars.
Like, From the mildly
Exactly.
controversial podcast, Baz, right? Oh, God. That's not going to work, is it?
2 stars, quite good. That's right. Yeah. Thanks for your glowing endorsement of your own podcast, Baz.
Ever humble, that's me.
Oh, wow. Anyway, look, almost every time we finish with on that bombshell.
We started on that, didn't we? Yeah,
We don't have a bombshell this week. All we have is the realisation that the 3 of us need to do this more often because I've had so much fun. And I meant it, and I'm making this promise now without asking Dayna if this is a thing. I'm making this promise now to our listeners that we will do this with the 3 of us more often because I absolutely love it. And I need to say heartfelt thanks to Dayna for coming on the show because not only do we fucking love it when she does come on, have such a good time, but was explaining how much podcasting isn't for her at the moment, but still has Dayna is literally any time I say, Dayna, do you want to come on the podcast? And I feel almost apologetic. It was like, do you want to come on the podcast again? Every single time she says, yes, absolutely, I'll be there. And
because I love it here. I do. I love coming on this show. And I will give you a bombshell to end with. I'm going to send you a picture of my finger. You can just bleep right up on the screen. Roll credits.
On that bombshell. I mean, she's fucking good at podcasting, isn't she? I'm going, we don't have one this week. She's I've got one. Here it is. The first time a guest has ever dropped a bombshell. So, ladies and gentlemen, have a look at this.
God.
And on that bombshell, that is where we will leave it for this week. I do hope you weren't eating your breakfast when you were watching this on Spotify. If you're listening to it on Apple Podcasts, get along to Spotify or Facebook, because otherwise you're not going to see that.
Well, I think it's worth noting as well that we're not just going to get you back on next time we lose a finger, because that's a lot to give up. If you could.
I hope not.
Baz, you made it sound like we said if you don't come on again, we're going to keep taking fingers off. You're getting like bolt cutters and just that's
the next
not
time
what
I
happened.
come on, it's Baz ate my finger.
Some sort of strange Yakuza type thing we're doing here, isn't it?
I've just gone to lengths to say how grateful we are for Dayna, to Dayna, because she's never said no. You made it sound like we've gone around her house with bolt cutters, we've taken one finger off, and if she doesn't come back on, we're going to keep taking them off. That's not what happened.
Guys, help. Now you know the truth.
Dayna, we love you. You're amazing. You're a wonderful person. You are one of the most beautiful people I've ever met. People have obviously picked up on that from how incredible she is, that she's not kicked her dog off a cliff and she's
Sign of a
taken
good human being.
and she's taken the blame for that. It's like one of the most beautiful humans I've ever met inside and out, and I'm so I say this every time we have you on, that I'm so grateful that our paths crossed.
Me too.
That time that we went on this kind of, it's almost kind of a podcasting networking site, and we searched
dating, was it? It was
people,
podcast
and we
speed
said,
dating.
we said, would you come on our podcast? And she was like, yeah, sure, come on. And we had such a good time that we just can't stop asking you, and we're not going to stop asking you. So thank you so much again for coming on the show. I've had such a good time. Really enjoyed it, and we will get you back much sooner than the gaps of your appearances are going to get smaller and smaller until it's just the 3 of us doing it. So I mean,
I'm here for it. I'm here.
we might as well just admit that that's what's going to happen. Let's just accept that's what's going to happen. At some point in the near future, Dayna's going to be on every week. So
Whether she likes it or not.
So yes,
9-fingered Dayna.
exactly. And if she doesn't like it, then she'll be 8-fingered Dayna, and so on. We will go to the threats if we need to. So, thanks everyone for listening. Thanks for watching. We will see you next time. Goodbye.
We should put a stop to all this podcast nonsense